Yes, indeed. All right. Ooh, I feel like I'm bumping things. Ladybugs and yellow jackets. Hi, everybody. Welcome. What day are we on? We are on Thursday, and welcome to our next episode of Variety. We're having a variety act today. I'm very excited about that. So please say hello to Shakespeare Approves. Oh yes, I'm your host, Fairy Princess Lolly, but you probably all knew that. So unless you're tuning in for the first time. So please say hello, Will Shakespeare.
Hello. I'm sorry, I was just like weirdly like leaning in, but I had the YouTube feed, which is like what 15 seconds behind this, all of a sudden hopping in my ear. I'm like, what is happening? I'm hearing voices. I'm possessed by demons or the internet. I have no idea. But
and I'm not entirely convinced that there's a lot of difference between demons and the internet, to be perfectly honest.
They go together.
Right? So as always, for our beginning of the show plugs, please hit the like and subscribe button and share and do the things. And then I will shortly turn the screen over to Will Shakespeare. I do have a quick question. Are there any points here that you want to take audience questions? Should people ask them throughout the show if they have them, or are you going to be calling on others to interact? I should be keeping an eye on that for you.
We can take audience questions. Oh my God, yes! Oh yes!
Yes.
I would say yes, queen, but you're fairy princess, so yes, princess, yes.
That is perfect. So, and hello, Gunther. I see you out there. Thank you for joining us. So, as I see a few of you. So, please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, maybe what Elizabethan realms you frequent, etc., etc.
All right. Well, my name is Will Shakespeare, as you might be able to guess by the bald head and the English accent. That's just kind of how I roll. I am your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare, performing my one-man audience interactive improvisational Shakespeare show called Shakespeare Proves at Renaissance festivals, outdoor events, schools, libraries, your living room maybe, all around the country, primarily on the East Coast. And we do such half-hour stories like Romeo and Juliet, The Flying Implement of Doom Edition, Twelfth Night and the Three Bears, Macbeth, Death by Fluffy Kittens, Titus Andronicus, for kids. And I use the audience, I know, right? I use the audience as the actors in the show, also sometimes as the set pieces, like a balcony, maybe even as a prop, such as a dagger. So,
or a hole in the wall?
Oh, every once in a while, I have actually not done Pyramus and Thisbe. I do Much Ado. I do Midsummer Night's Dream. I have it subtitled A Gay Old Time. And the mechanical...
For obvious reasons.
Absolutely, yes. The mechanicals, other than bottom, don't really play a part in it because I only have... When reality sets in a half-hour time slot at a Renaissance festival, only 22 minutes to actually do the show. It basically works out to sitcom length. So if you are in a 45-minute slot, you have a little over half an hour. If you're in a if you're in a half-hour slot, you got 22 minutes. So you have time to hawk your show, pass the hat and sell merchandise at the very end of it, but also set up your show as the person before you is clearing off, and then vice versa at the end, so that everybody can run on good, proper timing and clockwork. And if you have a stage manager there, it works even better. But go ahead, please.
Speaking quickly of pass the hat, if any of you out there are loving what you're seeing today, please feel free to tip that virtual super chat hat, if you will, and I am sure that our lovely Shakespearean bard here will very much appreciate that. So.
I will. I like money. Money likes me. I mean, we are friends. And they say money is the root of all problems, but I find it is the root of not being able to pay my bills. So.
Oh dear, which kind of results in evil. I was about to say something questionably political, but I I have shown restraint. The thing is that if I don't tell you that I was about to do the thing that I just didn't do, you won't ever know that I just showed restraint. And I'm really proud of myself for showing restraint. So I have to tell you that with something right there I was going to say that I'm not going to say now.
Is this restraint I see before me, or is it actually you saying, oh, please ask me what I was going to say? Oh, please.
I am very much not that fairy princess. I tend to say, you know, I said what I meant and I meant what I said. So,
all right. Well done.
Yes, no, I will say this. It had nothing to do actually with the United States. It had to do with philosophy, politics. So I thought, I don't know, that might be too deep and way off topic.
You know what? See, here's the thing. Off topic is my bread and butter. I mean, there's shows, there's the store Hot Topic. If I had a store, it would be called Off Topic. Now,
Off Topic.
Because in my show, I have several parallel tracks of where we're going. There is the show as written. So if everybody does exactly what I say in the timing I say to happen, the show is very good. If you start doing your own thing as I'm coaching you along on your lines, being, let's say, Juliet and Romeo and Juliet, then, we just got interesting here. If you do something incredibly funny or you just make a weird statement, that sometimes becomes the entire show for me for anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes. And there are parallel tracks. And so then I have just in my brain, just the edit switch of, I'm not editing what I say, I'm editing what I'm cutting out of the show. And because we have to focus time on this. So if you want to go down, exactly, if you want to go down a philosophy rabbit hole, A, I'm here for you, baby, and B, I am a fan of The Good Place, and thus, as Chidi likes to say, David Hume. So we could talk philosophy a bit. I will sound mostly brain damaged when I speak of it. However, it will be a good time.
You know, I think we got strangely philosophical a couple of episodes ago on the Fey News Network when we got into a discussion about who was really the bad guy in the Peter Rabbit stories. Was it Peter Rabbit for stealing all the food, or was it Farmer Brown for punishing the rabbits for stealing the food?
Or is there a secret third option? The society has established that the creator of the produce, Farmer McGregor or Farmer Brown, whatever his name is.
Is it McGregor? I
think it's McGregor, and I only know that because of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, when they're singing the book report about Peter Rabbit. My knowledge is varied, and I pull it in from everywhere. But is it Farmer McGregor, or is it Peter doing acts that he consciously knew are against the law, but are feeding himself and possibly his family? Or secret fourth option, not society maybe setting up this dichotomy between them, however, the rivalry that he has with his siblings, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. Yes, are Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, since he has 3 siblings, are they representing Slytherin House, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw? And Peter is over here doing the bold, necessary work because he is a Gryffindor. There we go.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I certainly hope that Nettle is out there watching right now. I haven't let it go, Nettle. I haven't let it go. I was duly chastised for ever suggesting that it might be the rabbit. And I didn't even suggest. I just asked, but I guess the asking wasn't enough.
There are no wrong answers here. This is a safe space. It's just you and me and whomever's watching.
Yes, and potentially the billions of people. I feel right there, right? I needed to hear the echo in my head, like The Rock. You, I, and the millions. Yes. Of the Faye fans.
Oh, wow.
That's what I need. 1 million strong. Okay. Boy, talk about going down a rabbit hole. And here we are.
See? There we are.
That was so easy. Yes. So I just want to say also, if you are looking to find the Bard, look in the low bar, the description, click the little drop down arrow, whatever platform it is that you are watching on, and you shall find all of the links. Thank you to, I guess, Jesse out there. Thank you for reminding there is a Patreon, and I do believe I actually got that link in the low bar as well in pre-show prep.
I saw that, yeah.
So, yes, so if you're looking for other ways to support what you are about to see, there are many, and I would encourage you to pick one and run with the ball. So, are you ready, sir?
No. But we're doing it anyway. That's how I live my
Here
life.
we go.
I'm a Gryffindor.
All right, then. Here we go. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Lords and ladies, hello. I am Will Shakespeare, which means you should cheer now. All right, I'm just going to assume that everyone at home was cheering. But thank you. Thank you. Tape delay. All right. Now, friends, when I say you should cheer now, I need you to go insane. I need you to hoot, holler, clap, cheer, stomp your feet, whistle, throw small loved ones into the air. Quarantined parents who are homeschooling, just yeet the children, all right? So here's what we're doing, all right? So here we go. Get ready. I'm Will Shakespeare, and you should cheer now. I'm loving the word, thank you. And right now, since I can't see you anymore, you're just a voice in my ear, so I was like, hello, God. All right. Now, friends, today's show will be audience interactive. And as Fairy Princess Lolly has already assured me, you can ask questions during the show. So please feel free to send your questions in, and I will answer them. You might not like the answers, but I sure will. Now, this show is audience interactive. So when I say everybody says ooh, I need to hear all of you say ooh. Let's practice that. Everybody says ooh. Everybody, oh, very good. Everybody says, ah.
Ah.
People cry out, dear God, what is that thing?
Dear God, what is that thing?
We have dramatic music.
Dramatic.
And apparently not very dramatic music. All right. Now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, all right, cool. We have random sound effects of randomness. Yes, we do. And we start with a song. And due to the tape delay, I'll ask you not to actually do this part here. All right. So take your hands, hit your lap 2 times, and then clap your hands 1 time. And then people at home do that again. 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 Repeat. 'Cause I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle and here's my spout. Let me get all steamed up and hear me shout. Tip my other and pull me out, singing I'm a little teapot. Everybody at home sing it. I'm a little teapot. And here we go. Now Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. It followed her to school one day, which was against the rules. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. Ba, 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 black sheep. Ba, 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 black sheep. Now that was my Run DMC moment. All right, here we go with the next verse. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Stars are flaming balls of gas. Let's sing it! Stars are flaming balls of gas. Now I can see what some of you are thinking at home because I can read minds. You're thinking Shakespeare. Stars are actually flaming balls of plasma and not gas. But here's the thing, people. According to Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, when they were looking for the Klingon bird of prey that could fire whilst cloaked, what shouldn't have even been possible, Spock points out, when Uhura says that the thing must have a tailpipe, can they find an emission that vented plasma is just a type of gas. So what I am saying is, suck it, science! Ha ha! Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Always designate your driver. Let's hear it. Always designate your driver. Now, friends, at this point, I need you to sing the final verse with me because you're the few the proud, the nerds. Now, you might be thinking, Shakespeare, why are you calling me such names? People, you're watching the Renaissance Festival vaudeville variety show on YouTube Live as it happens, because we're all quarantined. This is as nerdy as it gets because technology is here to save us. Now, how do you know you're a nerd other than this? Well, you are the ones who wear the nerdy t-shirts. You are the ones who wear red shirts. Unironically. You are the ones who understand that the red shirts will die first and the stormtroopers can't hit everything, as witnessed in the Baby Yoda TV show. You are the ones who use the nerdy language, words like bazinga and hodor, and that you know that this is the way. And everything is wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. So join me on the final verse. Reach into the bottom of your heart, the cockle of your heart, the subcock of your left big toe, your neighbor's pocket, and sing it with me. For none of you good people right here, right now, I wouldn't be here doing this. No. I'd be at my home, where I actually am, still doing this. Weirdly enough, still wearing velvet. All right, maybe my life wouldn't change, but I wouldn't have you. So sing it with me. Let's do it together. That's how we're going to survive this thing. Because we are the few, the proud, the nerds. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Sing it with me. Next time, won't you sing with me? Give yourselves applause. Yes, oh, good round of applause. Oh my God, yeah, Shakespeare, you're so sexy. I know, right? And my sleeve is coming untied here. See, you're just watching my life in action. This is exactly how my live in-person show goes. If my shirt sleeve comes untied, I talk about it. Yeah, that's what we do. But friends, this is going to be a fun show. This is going to be my midday, late night talk show of madness, where since I don't have any in-house guests, I'm just going to keep talking and see what happens and hope that good times happen. But I have some pre-selected questions for Ask Shakespeare. And if any of you have any questions that you are longing to ask me, whether they are directly Shakespearean related or you just want to know something, go ahead and ask. And here we go. So the first question that was submitted to me came from Jason Allen McLean. He's asking the top 5 video games of all time. Well, Jason, I did some research on this, and according to Metacritic, they are number 5, Super Mario Galaxy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cough, excuse me. Cough into your elbows right now. If you don't do it, you're a bad person. All right, so number 5 was Super Mario Galaxy. Number 4, Soul Calibur. And oh man, that was a great game to play on the consoles, like the great big arcade machines, wasn't it? Oh my God. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto 4. Not 1, not 2, not Vice City, but 4. Number 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Yes. And the number 1 video game of all time, according to Metacritic, is The Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time. Now, I disagree with all of these. I mean, Ocarina of Time is a good game. That's fine. Soul Calibur's fun. Super Mario Galaxy, a lot of fun right there. However, these aren't the top 5. My top 5, according to me, and of course I'm right because I'm Shakespeare. Hello. All right. Number 5, Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Yeah, you remember that one on the PlayStation 2. Oh yeah, fantastic. Number 4, the Batman Begins video game, not Arkham Asylum, although Arkham Asylum and the Arkham games, they all have better fighting. Oh yeah. No, Batman Begins, the video game version of the film, is amazing. Does Arkham Asylum allow you to switch into the Adam West Batsuit once you unlock the game? Maybe, I don't know. I never actually beat it. But I beat Batman Begins, and yeah, you can go through in the bright, happy, bright night instead of dark night Batsuit, and it's fantastic. Oh my God. Number 3, the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga, which does obviously not include episodes 7, 8, and 9, but some of the hater fans out there also don't include 7, 8, and 9, so that's fine. And then number 2, 007 GoldenEye. Whenever they release it, it's always great. And their number 1 top video game of all time, it's a game I play nearly every day. Mario Kart Wii. Woohoo! So great. So that the top 5 video games as tabulated by Metacritic and also me, your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. But now let's sing another song, because the show is weird. It is my talk show, and talk shows in the afternoon often have musical guests, and my musical guest is myself. So my accompanist is actually on the other side of New York State right now. I'm recording to you right now from New York, broadcasting, recording, I don't know, the internet. I'm in one part of New York, he's in another. It's a big place. But he was kind enough to lay down tracks for me. So this first one is one of the very first songs I wrote. You may recognize the tune, but here we go with my song about 500 poems. Hopefully you can hear the music as well. When I wake up, sorry, I messed it up. Let's start again. Oh, live theatre, you never know when it's going to get messed up. David, start the song again. When I wake up, yes, you know I'm gonna be the bard who wakes with thoughts of you. And when I'm musing, yes, you know I'm gonna be the bard who's musing over you. When I'm writing, yes, you know I'm gonna be the bard who writes sonnets for you. And if I stalk you, yes, you know I'm gonna be the bard who might be stalking you. But I would write 500 poems, and I would write 500 more, just to be the bard who wrote 1,000 poems and nailed them on your door. When I'm acting, yes, you know I'm gonna be the lover in a story about you. And when the royalties come in for the work I do, I'll commission a Michelangelo for you. When I sing this, yes, you know I'm gonna be the bard who's singing this to you. And when you're sleeping, yes, you know I'm gonna be the bard who's watching over you. But I would write 500 poems, and I would write 500 more, just to be the bard who wrote 1,000 poems and nailed them to your door. Hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, 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 no. Hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, 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 no. This is my sweetest song I have. God, did you know that I was there? I was the bard who picked your hair up off the floor. And when I'm dreaming, yes, you know I'm gonna dream about the dress you wore last Saturday before. When you go out, yes, you know I'm gonna be the bard who's 3 steps behind you. And I love you like Romeo loves Juliet. This isn't creepy, this is perfectly normal. There'll be less suicide, and I know you'll love me too. Yes, it's true, because I would write 500 poems, and I would write 500 more, just to be the bard who wrote 1,000 poems and nailed them to your door. Hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, 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 no. Everyone, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, 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 no. One more time, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, 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 no. Hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, naughty, hey, naughty, 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 no. But I love you, and I'm not a stalker. This is just a very strong feeling. It might just be a midlife crisis, 'cause I've got 3 kids and a mortgage. So that's kind of what Shakespeare's life is all about.
Oh, that was amazing, by the way. And we do have a question from the crowd. Yes.
Before you ask that, could you hear the music?
Absolutely, and I was singing with you.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, go ahead. Question from the crowd. I will pull up my chair and I will sit, and you go ahead.
Count Morbid would like to know what is your favorite contemporary writer? Ben Jonson, Christopher Marlowe, or someone else?
Ooh, all right. All right, so here's the fun thing. I'm going to go with a non-English writer of this period. I'm going to go with Cervantes. Yeah, Cervantes, you know, Don Miguel de Cervantes, author of Don Quixote.
I thought Don Quixote was earlier than Shakespeare.
It's in the same overall time period. So it's in this European Renaissance period. I don't know the exact year on it, but it is in the same zone. And also I have to say another Spanish writer, Lope de Vega, who is an exact contemporary with Shakespeare, Jonson, and Marlowe. Now, if I had to pick between Jonson and Marlowe, I would go with Marlowe for sheer talent. Jonson was a workhorse. Jonson is sometimes clever, but yeah. A lot of his work sucks. But Marlowe...
Bless you.
No, thank you. Marlowe wrote great plots, but largely crap dialogue. And Shakespeare, amazing dialogue, but plots usually that are paper thin with holes you can drive a truck through.
Fair enough. There is another question out here too. And Count Morbid says he'll accept Cervantes. I don't know the other author.
Lope de Vega. Oh, he's wonderful. You have to check out his work. He wrote so much. A lot of his plays today would be considered almost like just one acts for the length.
Okay.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
I will. We shall have to exchange that information after the show. So I'm an avid reader. Yes. So let's see. So we have a question from, oh boy, James. I don't know if I can pronounce your last name. Mongiamelli. James Mongiamelli says, do you consider? Yay! Well, shout out to you. And do you consider Shylock to be a tragic villain, an anti-villain, or an anti-hero?
Shylock is an anti-hero.
And why?
Why? Well, and he is tragic, absolutely. His story is sad. Not tragic, though, in the traditional classical sense of everybody dies, or at least your main characters do. But he's not the villain of the piece. The villain of the piece, in my opinion, is either Bassanio or Portia, because they lock him into this. And Portia specifically because she's the one that forces him to convert to Christianity and to give up his worldly goods. Bassanio because he's a total ass. But Shylock is an anti-hero because he's in the same mold as what we might have now as a Dirty Harry. He's someone who has been wronged, who's out for blood. Or in his case, a pound of flesh.
That makes sense. So we do have, let's see. Would you like me to continue with the questions, or would you like to go to the next part and I'll gather the questions as you do the next bit?
All right, let's do that. I'm going to begin the next bit. So friends, we're going to go on a quick mini tour of my house, and I hope that this works. All right, I have a mesh internet system here, mesh router, that hopefully will hold as we walk around, and you're not going to see too many terrible things about my house. All right. Oh, look. Oh, is that Shakespeare's merchandise on the counter? Maybe, I don't know. But as we go through, wait, is that Mickey Mouse in front of the telly dressed as an Easter Bunny? Why, yes, it is. All right. So we're walking through, we're walking, we're talking, be with me. All right. So let us make sure that nothing falls or breaks right here. Let us do this. And am I still connected? Yes, I am. All right, good. All right. So... All right, well, welcome, dear friends. Oh, goodness, let's raise this up a bit. Welcome, dear friends, to my loo. It's time for hand washing with Shakespeare. My name is Shakespeare. I'm going to hand wash, and this is my loo. All right. Now, ordinarily the angle would be a little bit better, but since I'm jaunting everything around and I can't go to camera 1, camera 3, this is what we're doing. All right. Now, you might be thinking, Shakespeare, why did you bring me into the bathroom? Do you have a nefarious plot for this? The answer is no. I want to make sure that you are taking proper sanitary control of your hands, because cleanliness is next to godliness, but you know what's even closer to godliness? Being dead. And I don't want that for you. Now, what we're going to do is wash our hands, and the proper way to do it is for 20 seconds. All right? You want to make sure that you are killing all the germs, you're getting into all the crevasses, and making sure everything is right. So the very first thing we do is turn on your tap. Then pump your soap, get it in there, and begin. Today we're going to use Lady Macbeth monologue. Out, damn spot out, I say, 1, 2, why, then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky, fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and a feared. Oh, what need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands now be clean? So then, once you are done scrubbing your hands and getting in all those little crevasses, rinsing all the soap off, you pick up your hand towel, in this case an out damp spot remover. You dry off your hands, but even before you get to all that, get in there, out damp spot, get all the damp spots out. Then, with the towel, turn off the tap, because the germs can live on the surfaces for up to 3 days. Count them, 3 days. And you don't want to reinfect your hands, because if you then touch it with your bare hand, it's effectively like you just didn't wash your hands at all. Then you can use that same towel to open the door handle and then drop your towel into whatever bin you are putting it into. In this case, I'm just going to be taking it back with me because it's my house. But this is what we do. You use your out damp spot remover, available at shakespeareproves.com starting like next week. Because I am sometimes terrible with my own merchandising. But that was the monologue. Yes, that was the monologue. Stephen Colbert does a monologue out in front of a curtain. I do mine in the loo. And I feel and fear that I may have come disconnected. No, I am still connected right there. Fairy Princess Lawley, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
And I can hear you. So there we go. That's all good. That's all good. And there is that. So I used to have a joke in the show, get the out damp spot remover available at Walgreens or final retail establishments. However, now that I actually have an out damp spot remover, you can get it from me. So
I really feel like that's actually quite awesome. And so you're going to have those for sale?
Yes, starting next week on my website, shakespeareproves.com, we are going to have the out damp spot remover. They're actually going to be, I think, about $12 to cover, the printing and shipping costs for me, and then shipping probably about what, $3, I'm imagining. Got to figure out tax and all that. And
they will be black, yes?
Yes, they will. Yes, this first one is all black. It is red for the blood on black silk or cotton in this case. So there is that. But
amazing.
Yes, I hope the randomness and self-promotional attitude of me is enjoyable for you. Also, I feel like enjoying it.
I just feel like Count Morbid needs to have that in his bathroom. It seems like his sort of thing, but
everyone does, because it's a great dad joke pun. So
exactly.
So, do you have another question? Because we can go into that.
There was another question, and let me see. I have to scroll back here just a second to find them in order.
Sure,
and
it was
from Newton File, which was, how about the plays of Moliere? Do you
Well,
think?
yeah.
Yes. What do you like? Basically, what are your thoughts on his humor? And how would you think about it in relation to your own form of humor?
Well, I am deep in character, so I have no idea about Molière's comedy, which is 100 years after me. But I
I thought that it was all just timey-wimey stuff. No.
listen. I know nothing about your internet or your iPhones or your computers. I know nothing of that. No. Molière, I enjoy, and there's one play. Its title is escaping me, and it's really bothering me. It's basically a comedy of manners, but so much of Molière is a comedy of manners. But Molière is absurd not in an absurdist theatrical 20th century style, but he's absurd in the best ways of just. He's kind of the original sitcom to an extent that. People are put into ridiculous situations and then deal with it. Half of them acting like, oh, this is normal. And then the other half are like, what the bloody hell are you talking about, man? No, we are not going to do this. And they're wonderful. And I'm giving a really, really crap endorsement of this. But you can put that on the dust jacket, if you would like, of the collected works of Molière. Shakespeare says they're nice.
They're nice. Okay. You are the first sitcom. Congratulations. Let's see. There was another one. Count Morbid asks, what is your favorite appearance of yourself in other media? Is it Shakespeare in Love, a time travel show like Doctor Who, or DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Neil Gaiman's Sandman comics, or something else?
All right.
My goodness.
So I've not seen Legends of Tomorrow, so I can't weigh in on that one. Doctor Who I like, but I don't. He had a full head of hair and he was a ginger to start off with.
A ginger? Really? Where did they...
He was kind of gingered. I mean... I was already working and living as me by the time that they did that, and so they should have just called me. So who was in charge of the show at that point? It wasn't Moffat; it was the one before him. But it was a Martha Jones episode, and I love Martha. So, and that show also that particular episode of Doctor Who did give me a lot of fun material to work with and just work it into the conversation, especially the way he hits on Martha by using "Hey nonny nonny" as a pickup line of just going, well, hey nonny nonny. I mean, it's grand. Shakespeare in Love is my least favorite portrayal of the Bard himself, but one of my favorite portrayals of how theatre works. And Henslow says it best that no one understands how this works. Everything is going to be failing at any given moment, and it's a mystery. And seeing the theatre world in the guise of the 16th century and also compared to the theatre world of now, as written by Tom Stoppard, was wonderful. The actual characterization, though I might say Romeo and Juliet of the statue of Shakespeare right there, he was great. But absolute 100% favorite, not Sandman Shakespeare by Neil Gaiman, but Marvel's 1602, which was created by Neil Gaiman, wherein we meet Will Shakespeare writing the Scottish play for King James while working with the Fantastic Four. And it is a genuine delight. And that is one of my favorites because he's portrayed very similar to how I do it. He's not a genius. He is a clever person who can turn a phrase and makes it work quite well. So that's that's one of my favorites right there.
So Jesse asks, what is your favorite soliloquy that you have written?
Favorite soliloquy?
That's a hard one.
It's great speeches, and then there's the determination. Excuse me, I broke the English language. the determinative factor of, are we going just long speech, or so a monologue versus soliloquy? Soliloquy, of course, being when one person is speaking to the audience directly, but no one else in the show can hear them. To an extent, I'm going to say, what piece of work is man? That is a favorite one right now. How infinite in reason, how noble in discourse. The paragon of the animals. That one is grand. However, my favorite speech of all time is St. Crispin's Day. Possibly as a man in my late 30s. And I'm getting into the zone where I'm probably going to stop watching the History Channel soon and just yelling about Hitler. I have no idea. But I'm in that age bracket. But King Henry V's St. Crispin's Day speech is a genuine delight. It's not a soliloquy. It is a long monologue delivered to his friends. But it is grand and glorious. It's kind of everything that is great about the English spirit. And the human spirit to a large extent.
I think I just have to chime in and I agree with you. I find myself actually quite torn between St. Crispin's Day speech and the Julius Caesar Friends, Romans, Countrymen.
Oh, yeah, that.
I mean, it's very cliche. The first few lines of that but the whole thing together, the point that he is making, I find to be a very often poignant and a thing that shouldn't be forgotten. Now that I've given everybody my 2 pence.
Moral character. I mean, Antony in the play itself is loyal, but also an opportunist. In the historical, Antony is, oh my God, the only person I think he ever respected, other than himself, was Caesar. And not for what he represented for Rome, but just how singular he was. Antony is such an amoral word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. But for other works like sonnets, when you're delivering them as spoken word, my absolute favorite one of all is the 116th, which I spout off with regularity, which is saying basically what love is. Let me not to the marriage of true minds amid impediments. That one. That is my absolute, hands down, ounce for ounce, pound for pound, piece of Shakespearean writing. It sums it all up.
That is fabulous. This is so fun. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a good time reading all the audience's questions as well. And by the way, thank you so much, because I have been elucidated as to the difference between a soliloquy and a monologue. Oh, yeah, which I did not know.
It's a fun thing. It's a line I bring into my shows sometimes, because the best time to educate somebody is whilst they are laughing, because you're opening themselves up to, just for a moment, a new possibility. Because laughter happens when you get surprised. And you still laugh at old jokes or funny bits in movies or shows that you have seen many times before. But the genuine surprising laughter happens when something comes up and smacks you upside the head. Those are the best bits of laughter, I find. And then if you can keep them going and keep them coming back, then it shows that you're not just a flash in the pan, you are something that has some staying power and quality aspect to you. But the point I was making is I'd like to occasionally educate people, especially because I take the show into schools. And as the icon you were using before the show, saying that I was voted the favorite child-friendly show by the Renaissance Festival podcast listeners and readers of Renaissance magazine 2 years running. It's because I don't just do a kid show, I do an overall family show. I try to do a show that is approachable, like Looney Tunes, for anybody to come watch, so that it's broad enough and silly enough for a 5-year-old to laugh at, but it is thoughtful enough and witty enough for a 55-year-old to also say, hey, this is worth it, this is worth something. And then you also bring out new aspects to things, such as the soliloquy. I said, So for instance, I do it in my 12th Night in the Three Bears. At this point, Viola, dressed as Cesario in disguise, delivers a soliloquy. Now that's a big word. Everyone say it with me. And the audience repeats back, soliloquy. So now a soliloquy is when one person, in this case Viola, dressed as Cesario in disguise, is talking to you, the audience, directly, but no one else in the show can hear her. So, Pirate, Lady Olivia, Baby Bear, earmuffs. And then
it's breaking the fourth wall. It's doing the Deadpool thing where Deadpool breaks the fourth wall, says something to the audience, except for it's a lot more verbose and Shakespearean.
Yeah. And then my show is 1000% breaking the fourth wall because I'm using the audience as the actors and not just saying, okay, I need 5 volunteers to start off the show. It's like, no, I need a crowd. And then during the opening song, that is when I'm starting to pick who I'm going to pick. I'm pulled into the show. I'm looking at who's engaged, who's laughing, who's taking part, and who looks right in some cases, and pull them into the show.
Now, we do have a couple more questions. Would you like to go to your next segment, and then I'll hold those until you've done the next bit?
Yes, let's sing another song here. This one, since I was just talking about Viola dressed as Cesario disguise, this is called The Legend of Cesario. Is this all just a dream? This weekend idle theme? Or the latest play by Will Shakespeare? Way back in days of old, there was a legend told about a man named Cesario. Great beard and perfect hair, could really throw a chair. There was no man like Cesario. Kind plus every other human virtue. Lass or lad, you know he'll flirt you, yay. 12th Night is quite risque, a Shakespearean cliche. The people cheer Cesario. He was romanticized and led a life of lies and helped Orsino Olivia. But she loved not the Duke. In fact, he made her puke. What's more, she also loves a different fella. If music be the food of love, play on Cesario's a different kind of swan surprise. He's wearing a disguise. This farce, it really flies. The people cheer Cesario. Out of the sea foam, who does emerge? Sebastian, a shipwrecked man who looks familiar. He walks Illyria's beaches where salt and sand merge. And Olivia saw her man, not so but nicely tanned, and so he gladly ran off with her. Which brings us to today, the climax of our play. No one can end it save Cesario. And here's your denouement. She's really Viola, Sebastian's twin, she's Cesario. Now she gets her happy ever after, and you were filled with joy and laughter. So I guess that was the show. We left out Malvolio. It's the legend of Cesario. Oh. David really pulled that out. Thank you. I'm glad you liked that one. I'm a fan of Gallivant, if you can't tell. And
that is a great show.
Gallivant is amazing. I super believe in you, Tad Cooper. And I mean, like, we're just learning about all my nerdy passions. The Good Place, Gallivant, yeah, everything. So I like writing folk songs. I am not great at writing tunes, nor do I play a musical instrument, but I love lyrics. I like being clever with them, and especially when they meet, or even better yet, not just clever or meet the meter, but can actually become good on their own. And it's one of my favorite things. So.
Okay, so I love filk too. Actually, I have a filk song or two. I recently, for our virtual Easter egg hunt, the prize for whoever found my sponsored egg was that I would write and perform a filk song as an ode to their greatness.
Oh, that's wonderful. I have not written filk songs to odes to anyone's greatness, but I do write sonnets, like for reals, not just Shakespeare, but I write sonnets. Yeah, I do commissions for them all the time. Like I just wrote one about Baby Yoda, and it made me happy.
That is amazing.
Baby Yoda is the best thing in the universe right now.
I don't know that I could. I don't know that I could rise to your bardic and poetic ability, but I do have my Seussical fun doing the thing. More of a hobby than anything, really. So
absolutely. I mean, and that's how Weird Al Yankovic has 90% of his career of writing film.
He's amazing. You mean he has like 10% of some kind of content that is actually not filk, or do you just mean original pieces that are mixed in with
non-filk original pieces? But
okay.
I see also we're running short on time here. So let's do one more question, and then I have one more final song, and I'll wrap up, and then we'll go.
Okay. Let's see. I shall read you both of the questions and allow you to choose which one you want to.
Making a Shakespeare's choice here. Which of these questions do I want to see die? All right.
You could that, or yes, at two. Of all the kings you wrote about, who do you think was the best ruler? This is from James Magiamelli, and Count Morbid asks, do you have a favorite Shakespeare moment in all of Star Trek?
Oh, all right. Yep, here we go. Answering both of them. Here we go. And peace and long life to you, Count Morbid. Yes. Oh, by the way, with the hand washing, this is only Vulcan salutes from now on. When you meet each other at a Renaissance festival, you may bow or curtsy, but also no more handshaking, no more clasping arms. No, Vulcan salute only. Now. And the first person says peace and long life. The second person says live long and prosper. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now you know. All right. Now, back to the questions. All right. Favorite Shakespeare moment in all of Star Trek? Data in Star Trek The Next Generation in the holodeck doing a scene from King Henry V when he's intermingling with Henry's soldiers the night before Agincourt. And then Picard is coaching him on humanity and lost causes. I believe, if I am not mistaken, it's the opening scene of The Best of Both Worlds Part 1, I think. Number two, the other part, King who was the best ruler in all of the plays written. No. Richard III. Richard III is the best ruler overall. Richard III was a patron of the arts. And he was able to get taxes and finances and everything to go, except for the fact that he was largely despised by people, by not the people, but by other ambitious members of the nobility. And that's why he is portrayed in the play as such a tool. But Richard III is probably the best overall ruler. Henry was the most charismatic, Henry V. But we don't know if he was a good ruler because he only ruled for 2-3 years. Henry IV wanted to be a good ruler, but was constantly beset by internal civil war and rebellion. Edward IV wanted to be a good ruler, but same issue. So in the end, I'm going to say Richard III, out of all the kings we wrote about, he was the best.
And there you have it. All right. So I am going. So you have one more thing to do, and then that will. Okay, I shall let you.
All right. Yeah. So, lords and ladies, before I wrap up, or as part of my wrapping up, if you've enjoyed this hour of internet television, half as much as I've enjoyed performing it for you and answering your questions, then I've obviously enjoyed it twice as much as you have, and that's called math. Now, whatever you feel today's show was worth, a 1, a 5, a 10, for a 50, you can have a part in my new play, Romeo and Juliet, the Flying Implement of Doom edition, which is actually performing on my birthday next week, April 23rd, at 7:05 on my Facebook channel, facebook.com/ShakespeareProves. Throw a 50 in there and you got to roll. It's paid to play, but it's fun. You're keeping live theatre alive. Please throw it into that. Do the tip jar here. Go to my Patreon if you want to become a more regular subscriber to me. It's patreon.com/Shakespeare. You can buy me a cup of coffee at coffee.com/Shakespeare. That's ko-fi.com/Shakespeare. Go like and follow me on all the things, because social media is basically how I judge my self-worth in life. Facebook.com/Shakespeare Approves. On Instagram, I am Shakespeare.approves. On Twitter, I am @ShakesApproves. I don't do Snapchat, so bugger off. I don't do a TikTok either. Maybe I should. I don't know. We'll call it Shake Talk. I don't know.
Links also in the low bars.
Go do that. Go do all those things over there. But I want to thank you for joining me here today. This has been a true pleasure of mine to be introduced to you. There's a new audience for me, people who are genuinely appreciative of this art format, because vaudeville is what Renaissance fairs are. And until we're able to have a live in-person Renaissance fair again in a safe way that we can ensure that plague won't be further spread, these internet shows are the equivalent of the house shows that were done in the 16th century, when the Lord Chamberlain's men, the players, would go to great houses and perform for small crowds. And you are my patrons. You are the patrons of all of us, and you are keeping us going. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And now this final song for you, most of the lyrics were written by a very dear friend of mine, Dan Wenzel. I wrote another verse in here. But basically, if you have found the works of Shakespeare to be a little convoluted, a little messy, you're right. And here's a song that is just for you. It's a super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. When I wrote it down, I got a lot of hostile stares for. It's the kind of thing you exit pursued by a bear for. It's a super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm... Because my uncle killed my dad and married my sweet mother, I set sail that day with my identical twin brother. Our ship went down and we were separated from each other. I met a guy in Venice and his girlfriend he did smother. It's a super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. When I wrote it down, I got a lot of hostile stares for. It's the kind of thing you exit pursued by a bear for. Super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm gonna... I traveled all around the world. My money was all spent. I wound up in Verona where I met two clever gents. The sister drank a potion and pretended to be dead. Switched places with the prostitute and wound up in my bed. Oh, super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. When I wrote it down, I got a lot of hostile stares for. It's the kind of thing you exit pursued by a bear for. Super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm gonna die. I'm getting married or I'm... So when thrice brindled cat hath muted, there's no need to dismay. Just check your watch and ask yourself, just how long is this play? But if this is the dumbest thing you've heard in all your lives, trust me, this ain't half as stupid as the Merry Wives. It's a super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. When I wrote it down, I got a lot of hostile stares for. It's the kind of thing you exit pursued by a bear for. Super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. Super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. When I wrote it down, I got a lot of hostile stares for. It's the kind of thing you exit pursued by a bear for. Super convoluted plot that no one really cares for. Oh man. Not allowed to breathe during that song.
Huzzah!
Thank you. I am your friendly neighborhood Shakespeare. I love you. You love me. There is mutual glory.
Yes. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
That was absolutely wonderful. Do you have these on a CD?
I have some of them on, not on a physical CD, on a digital album that you can go download through the website. Through the website, ShakespeareApproves.com. Click on store, or just go ShakespeareApproves.com/store. That'll take you to my current offerings, which include a T-shirt. It's my version of OK Boomer. It's me rolling my eyes saying "'Tis well medieval." But my comic book, Julius Caesar, Beware the Ides of March of the Penguins. You can download that for your Kindle. And but also the album, Are You There, God? It's Me, Shakespeare. We recorded it live a couple of years ago at the New York Renaissance Fair. It has 7 songs on it. 5 of them are by me. That's one.
I've been to that one. That fair.
It's a great show in Tuxedo Park, New York, right about an hour outside of New York City. It's a beautiful, delightful show. And I'm working with David, who you heard there on guitar and his vocals. His band, Drunk and Disorderly, we are forming. We are recording independently a new album, which is going to be called, since he is the Foxy Bard and I am, the Bard. The next album is going to be called Bardic Thunder.
Bardic Thunder. I love this so much.
And I think the album cover is going to be us in doublets, but also like mankinis. So like we can look like we're Australian strippers. I don't know. But
the Bardic Thunder from down under.
Yeah, you can, but you can go listen to that album and buy it on at Bandcamp. It's called Are You There, God? It's Me, Shakespeare. And we'll have all the other merchandise as well. We'll have Fluffy Kitten Love Grenades, as seen in my show Macbeth, Death by Fluffy Kittens. They don't kill your friends, just mildly irritate them. I mean, like, see? Just annoyed.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been an absolutely pleasure to have you here, and a great hour. So a little over an hour, I guess. I shall bid you adieu because I know that you have other things going on, and I just want to remind everybody, like, subscribe. Please check him out on his Book of Faces, on his website, on his Patreon, where you, by the way, can get a part in his upcoming play, which I kind of want, vanity piece. I'm good with that. So,
yeah.
Right. Yes. So please go do all the things. The links should be in the low bar so that you don't have to memorize all the stuff. You can just click or look below. And I hope to see you again.
Oh, yes, please. Have me back anytime. I have more idiotic songs and lots more monologues. I'll answer all questions. And heck, if you want me to just host a show one night, I'll be happy to come in.
That would be amazing. All right. Have a wonderful evening for you, afternoon for me, yes. And we shall see you anon.
Anon. Bye-bye. Can't move, but this one's for you.
Aww. He will appreciate that.